Right then, everybody, this is the preview. Listen, it's another game for Ruben Amorim, an absolutely important game. It's going to be a tough game. I'll be talking about what United will do without Ugarte and Bruno Fernandes. I'll be talking about tactics, what to expect from Newcastle, and much, much more. So let's get straight into it. Listen, Newcastle, a very, very tough opponent, but let's start off with Manchester United's team news, as we always do. Listen, without Bruno Fernandes in a game like this, and yes, whatever you want to say about him, he is a big miss. A player who I said I would sell, but in a game like this, you will need his quality. He's suspended for the game. We'll see what Amorim will do without that. We'll talk about that. Ugarte, probably one of Manchester United's best players in recent games, is also suspended after he picked up another yellow card against Wolves. That will leave him out for this game. That is a big, big miss. And that's really about it. They're two big players that Manchester United will be missing for this game. It is going to be tough without them. But listen, let's talk about Newcastle. They've had some great wins and great performances in their last few games. They've only lost one out their last five. They're unbeaten in 4 games. They dismantled Aston Villa the other day. They are a team Manchester United must look out for. And you look at the fragility, you look at the way that Manchester United are playing. I mean, the only benefit of this game is that it's at home, really. United are not confident going into this game. And even Newcastle, they can probably turn this over in their home ground. They've beaten Arsenal this season. They've got a draw with Liverpool. Eddie Howe's got them playing some very, very good football. Isak's definitely a threat. Gordon, the midfield, fantastic. Very powerful, very energetic. High press. Listen, this game, you don't want to be pragmatic, but it's got a loss all over it. Newcastle are a team who are absolutely fantastic. They're 5th in the league. They can score goals. They're a very, very tough team to play against. And you look at United, dismantled by Wolves, dismantled by Bournemouth, who are teams that are way better than us. United are literally like not far away from the relegation zone, and it'd be embarrassing if we do go anywhere near that. We're looking at this game is literally damage limitation. How I think United will lose. Let's not be pragmatic. We're the state that we're in, and our next game after that's Liverpool. Could we see us get a win? I don't really know when our next win will come, to be honest with you, but very, very tough games. Newcastle are a very, very tough side, and listen, it is not going to be easy. Set pieces, let's look out for set pieces. If I was Eddie Howe, I would have this Newcastle team training set pieces, literally forget everything else to train set pieces, because we are absolutely diabolical from set pieces. Another corner conceded against Wolves. That's something what I think Eddie Howe will be telling his team to do. I mean, we can see directly from corners. Corners, if you have a corner or a set piece against United, it's basically a goal at this rate. So we must be better from that. I'll talk about the changes I would make and who will replace Bruno and Ugarte. But listen, let's get into my predicted team. Listen, Newcastle, they're a really, really big threat, and I am scared for the game. But let's get into it. Onana in goal. He obviously will come into the team, a very good performer. Listen, he should be doing better for that goal. Newcastle will have shots. Isak's on some great form, so we're going to rely on his quality in goal, hopefully again. My defence, listen, I'm going to bring... listen, the full-backs are struggling. I think he will go with Mazraoui and Dalot as the wing-backs. 2 players who are struggling. We're crying out for a left wing-back. Like, we need one ASAP, but I think that's what he will go with in the wing-back positions. I think he will go with the 3 centre-backs. Euro won't start. It's going to be De Ligt. De Ligt was on the bench. He's going to go with De Ligt, Maguire and Martinez. That's the 3 we go with. Listen, Maguire was decent against Wolves. I think we need the physicality, and we need De Ligt back into the team. We've lost 3 games now with De Ligt being out. I think we've conceded, 4, 3 and 2. So that's 9 goals without De Ligt in the team. We are struggling now. Mazraoui as the fullbacks and Dalot. Listen, they're coming up against Barnes and Gordon, most probably very, very tough opponents to come up against. Dalot needs to be better. Mazraoui needs to be better, but hopefully this is the last game really before it's not going to be, but the last game before we enter the January transfer window, we can bring in some fullbacks. In midfield, listen, I don't really know what to do. You can't have Bruno in there because he's out. Mainu's definitely going to play. I think he will just bring in Casemiro for that defensive support. He brought him on for the last 25, I think it was, against Wolves. He's going to need his defensive quality, whatever he does have. It's going to be a tough game. We need to protect Casemiro. I mean, he should be fine. We've got 5 defenders. He'll have Mainu next to him. But I am really worried about our midfield because it is going to be very, very tough. But I think it's going to be Mainu and Casemiro in that midfield. That made the logical sense. Obviously, Eriksen, I mean, he's not defensive enough. The 2 inside forwards, Ahmad will definitely be one of them. Now, very interesting to see. We've got no Mount. We're assuming Rashford won't be in the squad again. So Rashford will be out of the team. So I think it's going to be Ahmad and Garnacho. Unless he brings in Xerxes, which I don't think he will. But I think Ahmad and Garnacho will be the 2 leading that Manchester United team. and then probably will be Xerxes up front. I think that's the team they go with. But he will be struggling. It is going to be a game I think United will lose. I think we would have lost anyway, but without Ugarte and whatever you want to say about Bruno, we are going to massively be struggling. We need more from those wing backs. Listen, I wouldn't mind putting Ahmad in that right wing back, but who you going to have in that front line? I mean, do you put Anthony at wing back? He had a decent cameo. I don't think Amorim will try that, but this is a team where we are struggling, and Newcastle, I think, will destroy us. I don't want to sound negative. I never usually am this negative, but the way that we're playing at the minute, the players are absolutely shocking at this moment, and I think we will get beaten by Newcastle. But let's talk about the Newcastle game and what we can expect. Listen, we can't concede from set pieces. We need to create more. We're at home. Give the fans something to kind of be happy about. It is going to be tough. It's a very difficult game, and I think you look at what we need in this game. We just come away with a win, please. Like, even if we get a point up, I'll take at this point, because we're struggling at the minute. And listen, I still think Amorim's the guy. I don't dispute that for a second, but we really are struggling defensively. We're struggling in all areas of the pitch. I mean, attacking wise, there's just nothing going on. If you limit Ahmad, you basically limit United. Newcastle definitely can be get at. I think they did lose to Brentford, was it 4-2? So we can definitely get at them. But it's looking like we are struggling at this minute. Listen, it's a big game for Amorim. He will have to make changes. Obviously, no Bruno, no Ugarte. They are two big misses. Will Rashford come back in the team? I don't think he will. I think Rashford has played his last game. What do we really do? Delo, we just need a wing back, but I think it will be Delo again. I don't think you don't want to risk Malacia in a high intense game. As I said, in terms of predictions, I do think Newcastle are going to win. I'm sorry to say it, but I think they are going to win. I think they're a team who are flying at the minute. They're very, very good. They will punish this United side for our weak errors. I think on the ball we simply haven't been good enough. We haven't been creating enough going forward, and I'm hoping this Manchester United team can do something, even get a point, as I said. But listen, it's a tough few games. We've got Newcastle, Newcastle, Liverpool, and Arsenal as our next 3 games. I mean, it's going to be very, very tough in terms of predictions. Yes, I think United was, like, if we win this game, I'll be over the moon. Obviously, I don't want to sound that pragmatic, but I'm just being realistic. And I think the way that the game will go, I think it's going to be 2-0 again. I think this is the first time this season I probably predicted a loss just with the current state we're in. Wolves dismantled us. Bournemouth dismantled us. Tottenham, all these teams that have dismantled us in recent weeks. I think it's going to be another one of those evenings. And United fans, we must prepare, as Amorim said, for the storm. I think it is only going to get worse before it gets better. And listen, I'm hoping we can come away with a win and show performance. But I'm going to leave it there. It's a very, very, very tough game. As I said, without Ugarte and Bruno, that midfield, I'm worried about the attacking department, defence. Like, our whole team at the minute is struggling. I'm hoping if we can come away with a win and show some sort of character, some performance, I'm sure Amorim and the United team will thank him. And the fans. But listen, we're at home. That's the only confidence boost that I think we get. The players must turn up and give a performance. But let's see what happens. Thanks for watching.